Do you think the French pronunciation is difficult? The truth is, once you start to understand the French alphabet and how each letter behaves inside words, French becomes much easier to read and to pronounce. So let's learn the 26 letters from A to Z. In French, letters have alphabet names, but many of them sound very different when they appear inside words. So don't just memorize the sound of the alphabet, learn the letters, how they behave in real French words. We begin with A. It is pronounced A. Examples we have ami, salad, bra. The letter A usually keeps the same sound wherever it is appearing except with other vowels. Now B sounds B. Examples we have bonjour, robe, club. The B sound in French usually sounds like the B sound in English. The next sound, C. C is pronounced C. Inside words, C has two different sounds. The hard sound K, which appears before A, O, U. Examples we have café, copain, école. Last example, sac. And when C is at the end, it is usually pronounced. Then we have the soft sound S, which appears before E, I, and Y. Examples we have cinéma, facile, exercice. The next sound D. D is pronounced D. Examples we have demain, dimanche, mud, foire. D, when it appears at the end, it is usually silent. Then the E sound, we have E. Examples we have le, petit, enfant. E has several sounds depending on the accent and the position it is taken in a word. The next sound, F. It is pronounced F, which is similar to what we have in English. And examples we have famille, cafeteria, chef. F, when it is appearing at the end, it is also pronounced just like C. The next sound is G. It is pronounced G. G in French words has two sounds. We have the hard G, which appears before A, O, U. And examples, we have gare, regard, vague. Then we have the soft G, which is the G, which appears before E, I, and Y. Examples, we have génial. You can hear the G sound. Génial. Manger. H is pronounced hash. The French H is usually silent, whether it is appearing at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end. Examples, we have hôtel, véhicule. The H itself is not pronounced. You can hear the other letters pronounced, but the H is silent. Where it is pronounced, it is aspirated. For example, haricot. So the next sound, E. A is pronounced E. Examples, we have idée, midi, Paris. So it's a long E. E. Now we come to the next sound, J. J is pronounced as J. It is the same with when it is in words. Examples, we have jardin, déjeuner, joli. K is pronounced as K. And examples, we have kilo, packing, kayak. The K sound is usually the same in English as in French. So the next sound, we have L. So examples, we have livre, école, animaux. Now we have sound M. It is pronounced as M. M. And examples we have maison, tomate, abon. So when M is combining with vowels, it forms a nasal sound. For example, the abom. It does not sound the M abom like in English, but abom. N is pronounced as N. N. Examples we have nature, minute, avion. N also creates the nasal sounds just like M, avion. Then we have O. O is pronounced as O. O. It can also be pronounced as O. So examples we have orange, photo, vélo, porte. The next sound P. P is pronounced as P. Examples of P we have papa, apprendre. True. When P is at the end of a word, it is silent. Now Q is pronounced as ku, and it usually appears with the letter U, but the U is not always pronounced, it is mostly silent. Examples we have équipe, quoi, cinq. Q produces the K sound. R is pronounced as E. Examples we have roux, parisien, hiver. And the French R comes from the throat. For example, the roux, it comes from here, rolling out of your mouth. S is pronounced as S, and it has two common sounds. It has the S sound. Examples we have soleil, dessert, bus. And it has the Z sound, which is pronounced when it is in between two vowels, and that will be maison, raison, rose. The letter T is pronounced as T,